Yo,
My dude, I'm fired
hey,
up.
I got a serious question for you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite nut? Like if you like are eating like, mixed nuts, like as a snack, what's your favorite nut? I'm just curious. What's your go-to? Cashew, almond, peanut, pistachio? What's
No.
your favorite?
Handful. That's my favorite nut. A handful of mixed.
No, that's a cop out. Give
It's not
me
a cop
like
out.
what's
That's
your
how I like it.
favorite?
I
What's your
don't
favorite
like
one?
reach in there. I don't reach in there and pick them out. I genuinely, so like my family and Erica thinks it's gross, but like I mix or dip things. It's like I love, like I'll dip. Like the first thing that popped in my head is dipping graham crackers in coffee. Like it makes them soggy, delicious, sucks in the coffee. That to me is delicious. Why that popped in my head, no idea. But I'm generally a mixer, corn and mashed potatoes. You put those on my plate,
Mm.
mix rice and beans. I'm mixing, so I tend to typically overcomplicate. To me, I enjoy it. I like to mix groups of friends. I'm just a mixer. So a bag of mixed nuts is much more appealing to me than, say, a bag of cashews or almonds because of the nature of the handful being a mixed bag. Some people call me a connector. Some people say I like to connect people, right? So I just like to mix things together. I don't like to single people or nuts out. I prefer the handful. So it's not a cop out. It's actually a very well thought out
Okay,
uh
okay, 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 okay. But
thing.
if you had to choose one individual nut that you would eat for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
For the rest of my life,
Yeah, if there's
sounds
one,
terrible. I
there's
don't
one.
know. Probably if I had to pick, probably almonds.
Almonds.
Yeah, because you can cover them in chocolate. Again, I'm mixing. See, I can't help myself. Like almond, chocolate covered almonds, delicious. Peanuts, they're okay. Almonds, delicious. Somewhere
Speaking
there
of,
to talk about. Now that
it's
we've
not.
lost all of our listeners who don't even probably have a nut allergy, uh, are going to accuse us of being
I heard.
insensitive,
I heard he had a huge mix of
dude.
neighbor
Oh
kids
wow, that
at
that
your.
worked out well.
You like
That
that?
I did not anticipate
It's a
that
good
working out like
transition,
that.
right?
That was a great transition, dude. What I'm fired up about, and this is an encouragement. This is an admonition. This is whatever you want to take this as, because I know it works. I've seen it. It is amazing. So we had this Janktown like hand me down. Like I don't even think it was a hand me down basketball hoop. I think it was a basketball hoop that a dude had. That's like, dude, if I can get rid, like if I can get this out of my yard and into somebody else's, like I win. And he won. In all joking aside, thank you very much. My neighbor was very generous to lend it to us. But it was like Janktown, dude. Thing always blew down in the wind. Small backboard, was bent. It just wasn't very good, right? But my kids played on it, and I didn't really think much of it. I didn't think it was a big deal. I started noticing them going up the street to play basketball at a neighbor's house, and not necessarily with friends that they hang out with quite a bit. Actually, they don't really hang out with them at all. The basketball hoop was the key. And so this weekend, and I just want to get my kids something a little nicer, anyways, and something adjustable because I got kindergartners up to sixth grader. And so I bought a nicer basketball hoop, put it together Sunday, and immediately, dude, kids loved it, and they set it at a lower setting, which the bigger kids even wanted to do that. They whatever, they have fun doing it.
Like they slam
Um,
dunk on it.
yeah, I don't think they're challenging themselves enough, but that's fine. Whatever, doesn't matter. I was draining them at that yesterday, and I was crushing my kids in the cul-de-sac. Point being, bought this thing, put it together. My kids loved it. Yesterday was the first day that it was out. I drove home, and there were like 8 kids in front of my house playing on this basketball hoop, dude. 8 kids, and a lot of the kids were not kids that were, they came down the street just to play with each other on this basketball hoop, and it just hit me that I have this desire. I call them honey pots, whatever. I have this desire to make our house like extremely fun, a place where kids want to be. So I really want, you and I have to. start making some money because I really want to put a pool in my house, and it has nothing to do with status, has nothing to do with anything around any of that stuff that I just quite honestly don't care about any of that. What I care about is that you put something awesome in front of the house and kids come and they're together doing that thing. But it also is just, it's a place where they gather, and you now have the ability to influence. And this isn't me trying to, keep my kids out of the streets, and it's this controlling thing. I want to create activities. I didn't even play with those kids. I saw them. I'm like, that's awesome. They asked me to play. I'm like, no, you guys keep crushing it. It's awesome. I'm going to go inside. I just want to watch you guys. But what it boils down to is creating the environment, being very intentional and putting in your vision that you have an environment where it attracts these kids to come and they do their thing, in the vicinity of where you are, again, more from the perspective of being able to pour into them and invest in them and to love on them, to show them hard things, to influence them, to have an impact, and to create this place and to get them outside, dude. Like, in all honesty, these kids, so many kids are inside all the time. It just, I mean, I kick my kids out, but they are always bugging to come inside. Yesterday, they played for hours before they started bugging, right? They were out there just having fun. And that's what I want. That's what I want to create. And it was beautiful, dude. Pulling into your house and having to stop because you're like, hey kids, like, I'm right here. Like, you need to get out of the way so I don't run you over. Like, that many kids was just, obviously I'm very excited about it. It brought me pure joy.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool to hear that such in the grand scheme of things, such a small investment could create such a difference and such an impact to your entire neighborhood, right? To your children, and to all the other kids around, in your cul-de-sac in your neighborhood, that just a new nice basketball hoop would do that. And I didn't have the exact same experience, but we've been, my wife and I have been talking about just like being more intentional about inviting people over for dinner, right? Like we wanted to start like hosting more people and being more social and having people over. You guys haven't been invited yet, but we invited my cousin Casey and Sue Ann over for hang out. They live pretty close to us. And
Yeah, he hit me up. He said he didn't really want to go, but he felt obligated.
oh, gotcha. But so they came over, man. Like, I was like, hey, bring your bikes. He got them a little electric scooter motorcycle thing, and Wells, my son, has a little electric four-wheeler, and we live on a cul-de-sac. And dude, like, they came over and same thing, like they were just out for hours playing outside, riding bikes. And like the other kids in our little cul-de-sac came out, and it was like a little like bicycle gang, man. Like, they were just like zipping up and down the street around the cul-de-sac, like through the yard. And like then the dogs came out and they were running around. And like, it was just freaking, it was awesome, man. Then we had a trampoline in the back, and they all came and started jumping on the trampoline, started playing games. And then Casey and I came, we started jumping on the trampoline, and like, I mean, it was just so fun. And Casey hit me up the next day. He's like, dude, my kids can't stop talking about how much fun they had. Like, it was so awesome. Let's do it again. Like, let's go hang out. And like, just that social interaction, man, just like you said, like creating the environment to where, our children can have a place to just have fun and play and be outside. And oftentimes it doesn't take much. Like, it's a new basketball hoop, or it's just an invite, like, hey, come on over, let's make dinner together, let's break bread and hang out. And just being that catalyst, right? Being the one who sends the invite, being the one who makes a small investment to then change the trajectory of a neighborhood. Like, it's pretty rad, man. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, dude, I love it. And you nailed it, right? Anybody can do it. It just requires some intentionality, and maybe I mean, dude, people are going to say no, right? Like, people are going to say no, I got plans, whatever. Like, it's fine. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more rewarding. We talked about it on a podcast earlier today. Like, I feel like my life is so rich. And a lot of it is, yes, my family's a big part of that. But really a big part, a huge part of that is my friends, man. My relationships with other men, with other dads, those it's so meaningful to be able to have a best friend, right? A brother, like Matt Matson, like you and dudes like Matt, and just to, but to have genuine, deep relationships with dudes that I, no kidding, love and I want to spend time with, and I make time to do these things, and I make efforts to spend time with each other. Those things are like it makes for a rich life, dude. It's
Yeah.
not, and I don't think about, I don't think about how much it costs or what fancy restaurant we can go to or what car you drive or like those things are so, they're so inconsequential, man. They really are. And to be able to have, I mean, I have a vision to have, I don't know how many kids are in the neighborhood. Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 60. I don't know how many it is, but all of them are out front playing and interacting and learning how to be human beings and getting life skills together, and I just am observing it, right? I inject where needed because we want to make an impact or an influence, but ultimately you create these environments and you just watch people thrive. Like that is just, and that's what the mastermind is all about too, right?
Yeah.
I give you and I credit for anything. It's not that we're great coaches, it's not that we're great, orders, or we have any kind of particular skill. We created an environment where men could have an experience because we knew that those men would bring the experience and we'd all grow. Like that's the point. Create the environment, whatever that is. Figure out what it is that you want, the environment you want to create, do something about it, and just watch what happens. It's magical.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
buddy. Giddy up.
So when you get that pool in the backyard so I can come take my kids over and swim.
When you give me a 0% interest on money that you're lending me that you never expect me to pay you back.
Oh, that sounds like an amazing deal. I'm
I mean,
in.
you want to come swim? There you go. There you go.
Sounds like a great idea. Let's
I
make it
love
happen.
it. I think it's a great idea. I love it. Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Giddy up. See you.